I have known some Venus and Scorpios up close, and it's a time they tend to really delve into to uh, things in love, particularly some of the difficult issues, how to be there for each other, stuff like that. They are really deep people, so their hearts are able to be there on that depth level. In fact, they won't have it anywhere else. When you have Venus and Scorpio, if they are in your life, it's because they see it. There's a real connection, there's a depth of connection, and then most likely they're going to show you something deeper in love. And that's where we are with the Venus and Scorpio now. It's a really um, beneficial time for humans, and so, but that entails introspection. Not not all people are going to be willing. Well, see, you would have to do that for yourself, and then you can do it with or for others, and that takes practice, and that is a practice. And but the Venus in Virgo is totally there, and but it's kind of in the air, and for me, for sure, it's kind of down home. It trines my Jupiter, so the truth is I might be able to, a part of me, my Jupiter in Pisces retrograde, the only planet retrograde. See, it's kind of personal, and so is the Venus and Scorpio ambiance. They are very intimate people. So I was about to make this video about some of the things that I'm having to contemplate and handle in my personal life that deals with these issues of, mainly, of course, it could be for a lot of people, quality control, and then of your environment. I mean, a lot is coming up for me that it takes introspection. That word is coming up to, and that means a quiet time, kind of receding. Scorpio is a shell. It's represented by the shell animal, I guess, scorpions. Um, but it's it also is the sign of transformation, and I definitely have that capability. I claim to be the transformational guru. I've been through. I know. Well, if you pay attention to the process we're going through, it is transformational. It's transformation, and you're not getting anywhere, say, even better or good than, say, you were yesterday, unless you're going through a little bit, little by little transformation. And the thing about that is, really, is you're taking your own time. You take your own time with that. And it's a delicacy getting back to relationships and the people in our lives, depending on who you are, really, where you are with, really, now we get back to the level of love that you have achieved is very important, and how um, you stand your ground, like how uh, you value yourself. That achievement would be love, which to me, there isn't anything that's going to hold its ground unless it has that self value rooted in something that it's found of itself, and it could be very unique to you. See, the narcissist, finally mentioned it, minute 4. Now I can put in the title and get 2 more likes. Well, the narcissist doesn't care who you are on that deeper level at all. They can't. They don't have the capacity of interest. And, they are doing life inside of their minds only as kind of, well, it's kind of a protection service, if you will. There's all kinds of shades of gray. Why? Well, how that the mind defends itself from either not doing the work, or say just really just from being found out that it can't be reality. You can't be reality. See, now all of us, purging the Capricornian evolution, which had the reversed side. And I really wish I can describe what reverse is. You know, there's universe, but then there's reverse universe. And you want to be careful of that. You want to be well aware. And so, just about everything has been reversed. But what is that? You know, really, when you look at it, what's the word verse? It means kind of to word, right? To word, or the chorus, or like the line in the lyrics. It's saying something, and you want to be careful, you know, because there you are. See, if you think about it, has nothing to do with reverse, like what we think is to go backwards. No, it means to say it in another way. There's universe that's pretty much already said, but really it's already here. That's really what we will say about that, because it's not said. Might be, though. And that's where I've picked up the upper spectrum math, and I'm doing this thing, and it's like really hard to explain to a less imaginative person, except for now, because they don't have that imagination. You can just point to the upper spectrum and say, now this is really what is in what is I was going to say controlling, but what's governing all matter. If you want to know what we're trying to say, if it's said in words, we're trying to bring into, see, talking means that there's such an immense amount of confusion away from reality. You're going like this, that now it's almost like you're trying to pick somebody up out of a coma and say, usually the first things you ask them is, what is your mother's name? Where were you born? Who are you? What day is it? Because you want to get on the same page as far as what we've been told. Just let's assume that's your name and you chose it when you were born. Tom Adams or whatever. And so you tell us Tom Adams. It was like, check, yep, you got that right. It's a reality check. Truth and reality check. Otherwise, you're quiet. If you didn't lose your place, you're quiet. And where's your place? Here now. That's where reality is. That's the supreme understanding. That is the superior awareness, presence. And it's what I mean is it's a supreme understanding. When you are purely aware, there is no words needed. Musicians are kind of displaying that. There's intuitive musicians, and it looks really complicated what they're doing, but they're really going along the ley lines of truth, and it just sets them free every time. And it's not a mystery. Math is math, and so what? See, this is where I had kind of difficulty with some narcissists who are posing to play music, and they kind of do. They progress, and they get enough attention that it's worth it to them to keep trying and doing it, and it is enough of truth that it's trying to drag them into something, but they miss, and they won't get to the level of an actual musician that is obeying music. You'll see as a musician, it's staggering, and then pretty soon you're just kind of doing a version that certainly isn't going to be very inspiring. And that's what we have out there. Believe it or not, everything that hits mainstream is that. A lot of those musicians who have been harnessed by the mainstream and said, do it like this with the lyrics behind it like this, they'll tell you in a personal interview, it's like, well, we never really wanted to do quite that, but now with all the money we have made, we're finally doing what we want to do. And with the example of Led Zeppelin, it's bluegrass. Particularly with the singer, that guy, he says, all I wanted to ever do was bluegrass. But then you listen to Led Zeppelin and any of the rock and roll music that has been it's dragged out bluegrass. Like they'll take one riff of bluegrass that's done in just one measure, and then just expand it into an entire melody of a song. And it's like, these people are fucking drunk compared to just that one phrase in bluegrass that kind of takes you onto another thing, if you ever listen to how bitchin' bluegrass is. Anyway, tried to make this video about the depth of everything and everyone, and it's time to, you're not going to heal. You're not going to heal unless you have that ability to do this, and then you can do it, help other people do it. Communications is real important. Speaking of that, we have Mercury going retrograde. What it does is it goes all the way to Capricorn, 8 degrees, Earth, and it trines Jupiter in Earth, which is hit all the way back to 8 degrees Taurus now. And that is a really healing time. It's a time for healing. I'm worried about it because it squares my Mars, Pluto, Sun, and my ascendant. It's a difficult time for me, but I'm open to, like, okay, so but maybe I should learn something about communicating, and I'm open. I'm thinking, can see, the thing is you want to watch out for the paradigm on this planet, you know, the non-human existence that's there, that you tend to, it's like, oh no, is this another one here that just is one-sided, and they're playing a game of, it's very black and white, and you have to get keen to that. Otherwise you're wasting your energy, you're always exhausted, because you're playing a game of chess, but they're just playing a game of checkers, you know. And you know you're dealing with a narcissist when you're just exhausted all the time. You're really trying to make a connection and make progress with them, and they're playing a game of just plugging into your emotions and all of that effort, and you're locked in an entanglement that if you look, you're never going to see. That's just, now you've made that a hobby or something. It's like, you got to pull up out of that. Get your own life, babes. And see, this is the thing, going back, is like, they don't want you to have your own life. They wouldn't have gotten into your life if you didn't have a solid bearing on your self, what you valued of yourself, and then with regards to your relationships, for sure. How that you want to be treated by them, how you treat yourself with other people, right? It's shifting around now, you know. A lot of us give too much and get too little back. And I see like this, it's sad to see it, because they call it getting bitter, or just closing down, or rigid, or something. That's like, no, just realizing that it's not going to go anywhere really, and there's a different method of trying to save yourself. I mean, you preserve your energy, because you're not being replenished. And narcissists can cause nerve damage. We are tracing most all illnesses to narcissism. Now, I just said, babes, what I had said right there. If you want to get real, we are tracing most problems and illnesses to the mind. And of course, the inflammation problem, the nervous system problems, because they can make you really angry. And that's what they want. If you notice, that's what they want. They want you on this constant, like, fuming, bickering back and forth. It's weird, and it's like, they never get anything done. You never get anything done there, and you have to back away from that. That's what's exhausting. It's because you don't get anything done. They don't understand energy efficiency, and they don't work that way. You know, there's a lot of subject matter that where you can apply the less is more theory. There's a lot of subject matter that you can apply the less is more theory, and I'm about to bring it up because they don't get it. See, that's what's happening out there, like what is just steaming and fuming away as so-called, we're going to get this done, as progress, moneymakers, like who, recession, prices are going up, well, let's just run, and it's like, that's not quite, that's what the way that the civilization controllers has had us decimate the environment, let alone ourselves and each other. Just follow that direction. What the Jupiter conjunct Uranus, which is coming up, I think it's next year in the summer. Jupiter is going to start moving back forward, and it's going to go back to Uranus. which is that late degree Earth, Taurus, it's gonna, well, first of all, we're looking forward, we're probably looking at, which is going to help a lot, by the way, massive catastrophe, Earth catastrophe. Something about what we value being taken for granted, and then that being pinched off, and then people struggling for their lives, which some people already know. It's just a matter of, can you just relax? And did you learn how to fast? Do you know you don't need that much? Did you know you don't need 3/4 of the shit that you're running around thinking that you need to do? It includes everything that they got you running around doing, your insurance policies and all this crap, voting for this, and it's so detailed down. Would you just drop all of that and manage your fucking lives by going by your feelings? Boy, if that's the case, civilization has a lot of shit to get through and weed out, and it's going to be chaos for a long time. Over the next 6 years. Not for everybody. For some people, we will be what is called buoyant, and it's like, wait a minute, and see, like, just because I find out, and I don't know, my personal life, I know that I'm in an inhospitable environment when it comes to the human ecology. It's not up to me to blow sugar up these people's asses. I am the first one here, and I say that person failed after 25 years throwing asphalt on there, and I'm still having a problem with it. And in my mind, now it's been almost 2 months that now I know what I need to do. You have to go these specific routes. You have to go over the heads of these people, but you have to drag them in on it. Whoever that you have started a case with the people that won't investigate how much has been spilled, and they won't even tell you if they needed a permit for that or not. And then the other people that are probably going to reject me about the environment, and how I think it's definitely a hazardous for the waterways and also for me. And I'm gonna start zeroing in and say, because it's an entity that threatens my well-being, and then you give them the information, and then if you want, you can go test it and prove that shit is indeed more poisonous than any other asphalt ever laid down at any time before this hit by the enemy. That's right, and fuck! Would love to think about something else in my life than fucking picking on that, but no! And what I'm going to do, and you have to do it, I have to do it. Write him a note saying, by the way, this is what you have done to your neighbor, pouring that down. I can't believe you can't smell it. I am trying to get a breath of fresh air, and this is a fact. That stuff is poisonous. And if I see any of it being flung onto my property with your snowblower, you will be sent to court, because I am getting a restraining order on that entity who is threatening my fucking well-being that you have over there. You think it's a good idea. And you say yes, no, according to the evidence we can find by the officials who already know that it's a carcinogen. And see, I'm irritated because it makes me have to go, I have to worry about my medical insurance, and I might have to go to the doctor and say, will you please just at least assess my psychological state, dealing with this shit, and now being fucking ignored and thumbed down and bullied by these people. All of them should be taken to court and explain to everybody, even themselves, try to hear them make sense as to fucking what the fuck they're doing in this fucking life. Woo! And Sue says, so much anger. What you are is a fucking idiot. You let yourself down because there might have been something valuable, but you walk away as a loser. Can't hang out with you. Won't. You're just, I hate to say it, but useless. There's good things, honey. Good things. Comment section